So WWE's new LJN line has been the talk of the wrestling figure community, and last week we unboxed a new Hulk Hogan WWE Superstars Target exclusive LJN. Then we found one in stores, I think by accident, and a lot of you had the same question. What is the difference between the poster and everything like that with the black card? So today we're going to be unboxing a blue card Dusty and a black card Logan Paul. Stay tuned. So as I said, last week we compared this new WWE Superstars Mattel LJN Hulk Hogan, as you can see on the boots, it is stamped Mattel, to the original LJN from the 80s. We compared the backing card, the poster, the bio card, the paint apps, the belt, the sculpt, the differences in the boots, the stamping, everything like that. And a couple of you had some other questions, so I wanted to touch on them. Questions were about the backing cards. Now, as you can see here, there are 3 different backing cards. Now, today, we're going to be opening up this black card Logan Paul and this blue card Dusty Rhodes. But you'll notice the blue card is slightly different from that of the Hulk Hogan. Now, according to Steve Ozer from Mattel Action Figure Attack on Instagram, this color blue is actually a factory error in printing. And they caught it early on and switched to this more bright blue that does reflect that of the original LJN line. I have not seen a Logan Paul or Dusty Rhodes in the bright blue yet. I'm sure they're out there and they're going to be out there. But very, very interesting. And it's funny because this blue is very close to that of the LJN Young Bucks box. But anyways, a lot of you are asking, what is the difference between the blue card and the black card? Black card is the Chase variant carding. The figure is no different. What separates the black card from the blue card is exactly that. This is black and reflects when they went over to Grand Toys 1989, and the poster inside is supposed to be different. There's supposed to be 2 different versions of the Chase poster. There is a regular Chase and then a rare Chase. This is just the standard. Now, last time that we unboxed one of these, all right, I tried going old school, or as we've always known, to just kind of rip this off. But as you can see, this is a bubble that is sandwiched between 2 thick pieces of cardboard. Now, if you do that, it's okay. You can open it. But if you're interested in keeping these bio cards, it's going to be a little bit of a sticky situation for you. I learned that with my Hulk Hogan, ripped right through the bio card. So we're going to attempt to open these ones up with a blade. We're going to start off with Dusty Rhodes here, which, by the way, Ace Ventura delivered this one to me with such care. This thing was demolished. You should have seen the box. If you're on Instagram, you already did. But man, this thing is horrible. But we're going to try and open this up. There it is, the backing card with the bio. It says, "The American Dream. Dusty Rhodes is just a common man working hard with his hands. Known for his soul and charisma, the 275-pound Superstar is from Austin, Texas. That's weird wording. Hits the ring, ready to deliver a devastating bio. Whoa, so many grammar errors on this bio card. What are we doing? But we're going to try and open this up. Be careful, because one thing about LJNs, as you should know, if you are watching this, they are that rubbery material. Now, what Mattel uses isn't exactly rubber. I forget the name of the actual material they use to make these, but this will puncture it and cut them. So you want to be careful. As careful as you can be. Right? There we go. Just get under there. It doesn't help that I am using a dull blade because I didn't feel like changing it out. So if something happens to the poster or bio card, whose fault is it? Nobody's but my own. All right. There we go. Slice it right here. It does take a little bit longer, but if you are a collector of these additional items in the package, it is definitely worth it. Just be careful and don't cut your fingers off. All right. So there's the poster. And here we have the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes Daddy. Very, very cool, man. Look at this thing. I love it. Now, one of my favorite things about this, even though I think it's unnecessary, he comes with a removable hat accessory. Now, if you're an LJN fan, you know there was quite a few hat accessories in the original line, so I love that they included this in the new line. And there is like a piece of tape in there, as you can see, to trying to keep it adhesed to his head. It's very, very thin and flimsy and flexible, and I actually like that. But it's not exactly definitive of Dusty Rhodes. However, I would say that this headband for WWF Dusty is. Great likeness on the head sculpt, the hair. Look at all the dots. He's got the 2 fingers there. Bionic elbow dots. I mean, it's very, very well put together. And as we discussed in the original video, these are 2-piece molds. And you can see where they connect and disconnect, which is right at the waist. Very similar to that of the big rubber guys. Let's see how he stands. Very nice. Where's the Hulk Hogan? Let's put them side by side. Look at that. I mean, they look great. My question is, how does that Dusty look compared to a big rubber guy? Well, we don't have to wait because we have one right here. So we're going to put them side by side. And don't get me wrong, I love the big rubber guys. The boots are so close. Look at that, man. I arguably got to say, I think the boots on the big rubber guy are better. The scale is perfect. I like the hair on the big rubber guy as well. Ooh, that's tough. They look great side by side. But I think the overall winner, I got to be honest, is the WWE LJN. Just because it's the Dusty Dots, right? And growing up as a 90s kid, that was the Dusty that I knew from WWF. You know, I was too young for NWA Territories Dusty Rhodes. So I dig this. This is awesome. So, all right. Hat accessory is pretty cool. Goes on, fits perfectly. Let's see what the hat accessory does. It actually fits on the big rubber guy as well. Look at that. Man, that is so much fun. I'm loving these LJNs. Does it fit on Hulkster? Cab driver Hulk. This is Hulk Hogan Uber driving at the end of his career. Very, very cool. All right. Enough of that. Let's take a look at the poster inside, because I'm just very curious about everything. That there are multiple posters for each character. Ooh, this one is actually rolled up. My Hulk Hogan was not rolled up, interestingly enough. Now, I believe the Chase poster is very, very similar to the standard edition. The standard edition is going to have these old school 80s cartoon crowd members in the back, whereas the Chase variant is going to have the Coliseum collection drawing in the background. And then the ultra rare is going to be that, but on a black background. So let's see what we have here. Yeah, so this is what the original looks like. All right, with the old school crowd from the 80s still in there. They kind of mastered that, I guess you would say. It's got the Dusty Rhodes logo. Dusty's there and his dots. Now, supposedly in these rares is where you can get the other 2 posters. So we're going to find out exactly what's in there. And it's kind of interesting too that even these are different. So the blue is across the board. So let's take these out of the way so we can open up this Logan Paul and hopefully not clip off any parts of our Dusty or Hogan. So all for research purposes. There we go. All right. Black card is definitely slicing up easier than that of the blue. I really should have put a new blade in before I decided to do this, but we already started. It's too late now, ladies and gentlemen, JDs and gentlemen. There we go. Now, if you want to get into these LJNs, they are going to be dropping at Target stores on Black Friday, I believe, is the release date. However, if you want a Logan Paul right now, which I know not many of you do, he is currently on the Target app, target.com. Okay? Now, I recently found a Hulk Hogan at my local Target on the shelves, and it was actually the one that I opened last week. But here's the thing. We don't know if that was actually from a case or if that was returned. My first thought was it was returned, but the thing that made me question was because there was no signs of sticker residue on the packaging, which is interesting because that's what you would expect. And anytime I've gotten these, taken the stickers off, even with heat, there is always residue. Now, let's read his, see if there's any errors. Logan Paul is not only one of the world's biggest social media influencers, he is also one of the most exciting superstars in WWE. The social media superstar shocks and awes fans with his mixture of high-flying offense and over-the-top personality that makes him the man you love to hate. And ain't that the truth? People do hate this man. I will say this. I think the consistency in these could use a little bit of work, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. So, Dusty here has much more matte finish on the black here, as you can see. It's not as shiny as that of Hulk Hogan. This is a little bit more matte finish. Then we have Hulk Hogan, who definitely has a little bit more of a shine there. Still a little matty on the boots, the knee pads, and such like that, but the skin definitely has that shine. Now this Logan Paul is so shiny that it's slippery. This Logan Paul actually reminds me of the Jakks Classic Superstars LJN figures. Black gear, the yellow accenting, the stitching up here. He's got Logan Paul on the back. That does not look like an N. That's a weird, looks like it says Loca, L-O-C-A-H. Interesting. That is a weird G. Just not good paint apps, I would say. Not the best pose. I mean, his hand looks like he could hold something. I do like the flexibility of the fingers. He's pretty jacked. To me, this one doesn't look like an LJN. That's just me. I think it looks a lot like Logan Paul. In the face especially, in the hair. It looks great. But this is what we're curious about, right? We're curious about the poster. So we're going to slide this out and see what we have. Now I can tell you right off the bat that is definitely a black poster. So it's probably the typical one is what I'm thinking. Like the ultra rare. So I'm curious, where do they fit in these limited ones? The ones that have the blue background and the modern look. Right there. So yeah, we got Steve Ozer there, Bill McKenna, Ravishing Robert. Very cool. I wish I was on that thing. Awesome poster, but that is the difference, ladies and gentlemen. So when you get the black card, you're going to get a black card poster. And then there's also the standard poster. There is the Chase poster that has this crowd on the blue background. But this is supposed to be the rarest of the rare. We shall see, because I haven't found the other ones. Curious what you guys think of these LJNs as far as everything, man. How they fit in together, how they scale. Because right here, they scale perfectly, man. In my opinion. I think they scale excellent. Where is that big rubber guy, Dusty? They fit in perfectly with that. If you are an LJN collector, this is the golden age of LJN collecting. Even better than that of the original LJN line. Because now, if you have your original LJNs, you have the big rubber guys, you have these new LJNs, you got a roster. Now, I don't have the Young Bucks LJNs loose to compare. I do have a Jakks LJN, but I can already tell you those are smaller. Same thing with the AEW ones, but we will compare them regardless really quickly. So here is the Jakks Classic Superstars LJN, and it is definitely undersized significantly. And this was to fit them in the smaller packaging, which is expected. Now, same thing. The AEW LJNs are going to be a little bit smaller because they had to fit them in the packaging. But this is an original Darby Allin prototype that was full size. This is what they intended for him to be, and they had to scale it down, which is why he got postponed from his initial release. And this one is in scale. The head's a little bit large. The feet are tiny. So if you're questioning how these are going to fit in together, I would say they don't look great with these. So curious how you guys are going to collect this line. Hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Fig Heel. Twitter is at The Fig Heel. Pick up the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, available now on Amazon.com, or simply go to HeelBooks.com. Make sure you join Whatnot at WhatHeel.com, and you will get $15 off your first purchase. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, you can pick up a t-shirt, hat, sweatpants, sweatshirt, whatever it may be, over at HeelBrand.com. And we will see you on the next one, guys. Thank you for joining. Peace. Are you a wrestling figure collector of WWE, Mattel, AEW, Jazzwares, and everything in between? Then you need Fig Heel's Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, the modern edition covering all releases from 2010 to present day. Featuring over 7,000 photos of action figures from the hottest brands, including independent toy makers. Keep track of what you have, want, and need, including loose, mock, and overall collection value. With figure photography by Matthew Goldberg, the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia is a must-have for collectors. Full-color paperback and hardcover editions available now at HeelBooks.com. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Fig Heel. Pick up my book series on Amazon and my merchandise on ProWrestlingTees.com/FigHeel. Join my official sponsor, Whatnot, at WhatHeel.com and receive $15 off your first purchase.